All right, welcome to tonight's session. Tonight we're going to be looking at how to identify stakeholders and their expectation and conducting stakeholder analysis, creating communication, action, documents, and things like that. So after then, we are going to have a brief stopover at Freight Camp, where we're going to um, kind of create a work breakdown structure over there, and you guys will take over and then create the work breakdown structure there. So, and I can see the meeting you guys are having tonight by 8 o'clock. I wonder you do not even want to give me space. Esther, no space for me. I'm finishing class by 8 o'clock and you're having a meeting by 8 o'clock. Yeah? It should have been like 7:30. Anyway, you guys are, because of that, I'm going to rush. So I'm not going to stop that meeting. So maybe I will stop the meeting before 8 o'clock so we can start the meeting. But I wonder how it's going to happen, but I'll try to be fast. Okay. Like I said, tonight the topic is identifying your stakeholders and their expectation. And yes, like for instance, we are starting a project and you had the opportunity to chat with the project sponsor, where the project sponsor gave you a document called the project brief, or you just sat with him and gathered the project brief. You just start rejoicing. I've met my stakeholder. Well, I've gathered the requirement. I've gathered the no. That's just the beginning. That person called project sponsor is just one person in that project. So just meeting him doesn't mean you done your stakeholder. Yes, it's part of the process. And stakeholder analysis and identify your stakeholders. There's a lot of stakeholders. You need to identify them. Identify them, their roles, their responsibilities, their contact, their method of contact, because so many stakeholders might prefer different method of contact. You might have some stakeholders, you don't call them on phone. I've seen so many stakeholders, you do not call them on phone. Anything you want to discuss with them, just send them email, and that's it. Some people, they are not going to even answer your email. They are not going to answer phone. If you have a group like WhatsApp, though WhatsApp is not official, I use the Microsoft team. Everything, contact them via Microsoft team. Immediately you are contacting, they are just answering you. So during stakeholder analysis, you tend to understand everything about different stakeholders and you make provision on how to manage them individually. Because you cannot use the way you manage stakeholder A to manage stakeholder B. Another thing is looking at their influence, their level of influence. You know, if you all do some of these big men, if you treat them the way you treat operatives, you are going to have a problem. Some of them want you to know that they are important people. So understand them. That's work environment, kind of intelligence, understand everybody's body language, their style, and document how, call it communication action plan. You document communication action plan on how to manage them continuously till you finish the project. Stakeholder management is a continuous process. Identifying them and their expectation is just a step towards stakeholder management. So let's look at our lesson notes where we have it more structured. So, like I told you guys yesterday, this document is going to be our reference point. We are taking it item by item. So you can see this is what we've done. And if I want to cover it this way, and let's say we've done this. Today we are doing this, and that's how we're progressing. So, identifying stakeholders and their expectation, and looking at our lesson notes. So, what is this stakeholder analysis? We're going to use stakeholder analysis to solve this problem. So, stakeholder analysis is a critical step in project management that involves identifying groups, identifying individuals, groups, or organizations affected by the project and assessing their need, interest, and influence. This analysis enables the project manager and the team to better understand the expectation of each. So I want to use this particular word for me is key. You know, it's very key. Expectation of each stakeholders and plan effective engagement. This each is very important because it can spoil show for you. You might use the way one-way traffic. Yes, this is the communication. At the end of that, I'll call everybody on phone, I'll send emails. You know, understand each stakeholder's expectation. What do they expect from this project? Like in lead money in a CRM system, some people might want that CRM that is getting implemented. They want to use it to manage lead. That's it. Some people might want to use it for managing customers on daily basis. Lead are different from customers. Some might even want to use it for customer support. There are so many things they might want to use it for. So understand their expectation and plan an effective engagement, communication, and conflict resolution throughout the project life cycle. It's equally there is need for understanding conflict resolution because yes, project is a risk. When you are starting a project, you are starting a body of risk. So you must make provisions for all this. So that is what is called stakeholder analysis. Then, who are the stakeholders? If we need to understand how to create a stakeholder or conduct a stakeholder analysis, we must first understand who are the stakeholders. If you come to an organization, who are these stakeholders? Who are they? And these stakeholders in an organization will have different types of stakeholders. We have organizational stakeholders and we have project stakeholders. In this diagram, the first diagram, if you look at here, is examples of stakeholders for an organization and examples of stakeholders in a project. Yes, let's just first identify them. Organization will have employees. They are stakeholders of that organization because they are working there. We have senior executives, we have shareholders, we have, at times, some people misuse these two words, stakeholders and shareholders. Yes, shareholders are part of stakeholders. You know, they are not an organization. So we have shareholders, we have customers. These people that are coming every day to buy your product, they are big stakeholders. Once they start diminishing, it means your product, your business is beginning to go down. Suppliers and contractors, these are people that supplies goods. No matter how good you are in your business and you are lacking supplies, customers come and they don't have goods to buy from your business or services, then these are means you're having a problem. To have end users are people that uses the outputs of, they can be called customers as well, but in a situation in our own where we're implementing a CRM system, end users are these people that are going to be using it for daily operation. Then we have families of employees. They are all stakeholders. Even your child, your baby, Esther, this your tech baby is a stakeholder in any organization who's got a job. You know why? Any day the baby started teething, you might take some day off because she's teething. And that means, you see, affecting your thing. And you have some days allowance they give you in office leave. You know, some call it carers leave because of your children. And so many people have children's pay. So what I'm trying to say is that even children, they are big stakeholders in any organization we find ourselves. We have investors, we have lenders, we have partners, we have unions and regulators, we have community group, we have the media. They are big stakeholders. Once they start painting you red, you are gone. And you have the government. With one regulation, if you are not compliant, you are gone. So these are organization stakeholders. When you are starting a project, there is every likelihood that so many people from this group will appear in your project, not all of them. So you cannot just say that all the organizational stakeholders automatically your stakeholder in a project. It's not true. So when you come to project stakeholders, we have people like this. The leader of the project and the leader of any project is you. You might look yourself, I'm too small to be a leader in this big project, but according to project management, a project manager is the leader of that project. It doesn't matter the age, the size, the color of skin. As long as you are being appointed as the project manager, every other person reports to you in that project. You lead the project. It's either you lead the project to success or you lead the project to failure. So we have project team members, we have process owners, people are working within the process, for them process owners. For instance, we are working on lead management. Lead is a process. Who is in charge of lead management? The person can be the sales rep or the sales manager. Then we'll have people who work on the process. We'll have now we have a lead manager, which can be a sales manager. And then people working within the lead are like sales rep, working on managing, getting a lead acquisition, lead management, lead qualification, lead follow-up. These are people working on lead on daily basis, like a process. These are people working on the processes. So if we need to gather requirement, you need to look for these people. They know how the system works because this is where they work on daily. If you want to gather information, these are the people we are going to look for. The process owner and the people working. Yes, the project sponsor might just be the head of department. He might not know much about that process, but because these two people are disturbing him, he might just say, okay, let me secure funding so that we can implement this project. So you're trying to gather requirements from the project sponsor alone. He might not have enough information. You are looking for, I've been in that situation. I've gone to the head of department. You know, I was doing an integration, doing automation, HR, you know, and the person that I suppose the head of integration between HR and the IT service unit. Okay, the head of IT that I was supposed to get a requirement from is the head of IT. You know, he secured funding for that project. But when I will go there to capture a requirement, say, me, Charles, I don't know much about this. Wait for my junior. She's on leave when she comes, because there's nothing much she can tell me about the process, because she told me that I left this seat like 10 years ago. I don't know much there. They just report. I have a lot on my head. So you see something like that, you might want to go to the HOD, but he doesn't know. So that's why all these small people, they know the information they are looking for. They know what the government, they come, because they are working on the process on daily basis. So these are process owners and people that work on the process. We have customers of the process outputs. Yeah, customers. We have suppliers of the process. And then we'll have operations managers, we'll have finance managers, we'll have procurement managers, we'll have HR, training manager, performance manager, senior executive. So in your project, these kind of people might be the people that will appear to become the project stakeholders. It's not only you people. You can see here, your project manager, the leader is already captured. The project team members already captured that. And then maybe you capture another big man, like operations manager, but they're not enough. So these small people that do not have influence, high influence, they are very important as well. So the purpose of stakeholder analysis, number one, understand the expectations, identify and understand the need, expectation of concerns and concerns of each stakeholder. Manage influence, determine which stakeholder have the most influence on the project and plan to manage their expectation accordingly. You know, those people that have influence, you must equally give them very close attention. You know why? If they have a mood swing, you are gone. If they have a mood swing about you, you are gone. So if you are not doing what you are supposed to do, you are gone. So these are the people, most of the time, they are the project sponsors. Okay. Enhanced communication, another important purpose or key purpose of stakeholder analysis is to enhance communication. With stakeholder analysis, you should be able to develop a communication action plan. You know, communication action, because you have identified them and you know the best way to communicate them. Communication is very important in every project. When there is a break in transmission, everybody become confused. What is going on? So there should be constant flow of communication. And that's why you see here we have email, we can communicate via email, we can communicate via WhatsApp, we can communicate via telephone number, we can communicate via trade camp. So many ways of communication. And with that, that's why we're not struggling with, sorry, we're not struggling with communication breakdown. Okay, we have another important, aligning with goals. It helps us to ensure that the project aligns with the objectives of this, the project objectives align with the interests of these key stakeholders. So aligning it, what is the objective? Is everybody in sync with this objective? What is their interest? Is their interest in sync with these objectives? So that is it. Then let's look at key steps. If we are planning to start a project and we need to conduct stakeholder analysis, we have not done it before, like so many of us, this is our first time. Okay, if you have these notes, it will help you to just kickstart your stakeholder analysis. The first thing is list group. List all people, groups, or organizations that will be affected by the project. Typical stakeholders include, like I've mentioned it already in our diagram, customers, vendors, sponsors, regulatory bodies, project team members, and end users. Capture these people. Try to pick them up. Then classify them. You need to classify them. It will help you to know how you give them a shot, how you manage them. If you don't classify them, you might be giving them the same attention, the same approach, the same methodology, which might not really work. So the first thing is to classify them, categorize them, categorize stakeholders based on their influence and interest. Interest of stakeholders differs. It differs. It's important you understand. I'll give you a clear example of one project with very different interests. Now, we are building a construction, you are building a house. Let's just call it a school, a building, big building. And the project manager or the client or the project sponsor, they want that building to be completed within few months so that they can start using it for their school activities. That's very good. That's in their interest. They want that to come out within maybe 6 months. Then we'll have another big man there with different mindsets. And who is that big man? Health and safety officer. They are not interested in what you want to use that building for. They are interested in the health and safety of everybody working in that building. That is it. So if the health and safety officer, which is a big man, very big man in a project, comes to that site and there is no compliance, maybe fire extinguishers are there, but the fire extinguishers are expired, or there is no, the fire extinguishers are there for decoration. There is nothing within the fire. It happens a lot. You see people hanging fire extinguishers. But when there is fire outbreak, you find out that it's empty fire extinguishers. That health and safety officer can close that site, even indefinitely, even 3 months. They don't care, So this is two interests in one project. The other person do not care. whether this finish or not. I have another project, and this is a clear example of an interest. There's a filling station. They are building this filling station very close to residential building. As a matter of fact, the demarcation between the filling station is just a fence that's separating a residential building, densely populated residential area with that filling station. All of us know what filling station. If there is any fire outbreak, that whole neighborhood is gone. Okay, this is when I was a local government chairman, and every building must get permission before they can do it. I must append my signature and stamp. And the owner of that filling station, that person is the project sponsor. It's a big man, a very big man. Have so many filling stations, so many uncountable. You know, what he does, whenever you see a populated environment, you go and put one filling station there. If you got the money, you buy interest of everybody. But when the team came to my table, I said, I'm not going to approve this. You know why? Health and safety. This thing does not, you can't cite the filling station in this location. You go look for another place. Here you have the money, you can go even buy a better place. And I refused to approve that project. And that project delayed and delayed. So they were waiting for me to leave office before so they can continue doing whatever. So the point here is that is interest in one project. So that's why you must, stakeholder management is very, very important. That will determine how successful you are going to be in project management. So here we have high interest, high power, and high interest. You see, some people have this high power and high interest. Those people with high power and high interest, they want to use their power, they want to make sure that that project succeeds. Anything that needs to be done, they need to make sure. So this kind of people, they want you to succeed. So they don't care all they know, because this is their brainchild, this is their project. And actively engage them and manage them closely. If they don't know what you are doing at any point in time, you might find yourself in trouble. Then you have another group of people, like the health and safety people. They have enormous power, but they have low interest in the outcome of that project. This kind of people, try to satisfy them. You know the way you satisfy them? Follow the law. Find out what the law said. Regulation, compliance. Make sure you're highly compliant in anything you do within that project. That's the only thing they want to do. They are just doing their job. You call them, doing my job. They are big men doing their job. Can mess your project up if you don't comply with the regulations. Then we have low power and high interest. Like in our own case, lead management, we have people working on the lead on daily basis. And these people are sales reps. They don't have that kind of power in the organization, you know, but they have high interest. They want something that will help them to do their job very efficiently. So these people, keep them informed and consult them regularly. They want you to succeed. They have key information. They might not have power to change things, but they have information that will help you to succeed. Equally, we have low power and low interest. These people, they don't even have power. They don't even have interest. Which one are they? Let me give you an example of this kind of people. We are building a CRM system. We are implementing a CRM system, and you have some developers whom you guys just engaged for the implementation and configuration. You know that these developers, maybe you hired freelancers. They can be working on numerous projects at the same time. They don't care. They are just making their money. So immediately they are finishing this meeting with you, they dump that project. They switch to another project. Whoever gives them, pressure, that is where their mind is. So you need to communicate, you need to monitor what they are doing. If you don't monitor what they are doing, they can mess you up. A project that's supposed to last for 6 months, they can delay the project. A construction site will have people like that. Who are those people? You see these electricians. You see plumbers in the construction site. I've worked with so many of them. All they do is they can go for what we call fag. Fag is cigarette. They can go for fag break for more than 10 times. They just drill the wall, fag break. As they're coming back from farm, they start packing their toolbox. They don't dismiss, so they come to decide to drill one hole and go. Tomorrow they come back. On whose accounts? Project manager's account. The project get delayed. They don't care. They just want a place to go to work. And these are people, so they are called the operatives. Monitor them to do their work. That's why you're a project manager. If you go to Freight Camp, you assign tasks to your team members. Monitor them. Make sure that they do their work, or they will not do it. So many of them have 3 jobs they are doing. They don't have interest in that project. They want more money. Any place that they will see that will help them to make more money, off they go. So that is the way you classify stakeholders. Power, high power, high interest, high power, low interest, low power, high interest, low power, low interest. Okay, analyze expectation and influence. Each stakeholder assess their expectation, potential concern, and influence the way over the project. This will help in prioritizing stakeholders and identifying strategies to engage them. When you understand their power and their interest, it will help you to know how to engage these people very well. And once you've done all these things, sort them based on their power and interest, and analyze the expectation against them and their influence, you have to start writing down. Develop a communication plan for ongoing communication. It's not a one-off communication, a sustainable communication plan that will help you to manage communication in that project for the whole duration of that project. Tailor a communication plan to manage each stakeholders or group activity effectively. Determine the frequency and content of communication based on their need and influence. Some stakeholders, like I said, they don't want you bugging them every day with reports. Give them weekly reports, weekly updates is okay. They don't want every day you close work, you send the report. Every day you close work, you send the report. Understand that means frequency. Weekly reports for those who knows who have been working with me or been how I will call weekly status updates, where you update on what has happened within the week and what you plan to do for the next week. So whichever way is either you are giving the weekly status update at the end of the week, or you are giving, so you give a rundown of what happened and what you plan to do the coming week. So that's it. And once that is done, you are good to go. So in more diagrams, number one, brainstorm individuals and group who may have a stake in the project, sort them by their power and interest, plot them on power and interest metrics, identify gaps between the current and their desired involvement level, create a communication plan for ongoing communication management or stakeholder management. So if you want to sort them, this is it. We'll use this, what we call affinity diagram. You see them stakeholders in different groups, sort them in different their groups. Here, this is the project. Within the project, this is the project members, and this is the project manager inside the project. So every other person within this affinity, they are stakeholders that is affecting this project from the organization. Then outside the organization, you have external stakeholders, which are customers. They are still stakeholders here. So that is what this diagram is talking about. So if you are starting, you can use Excel document or just a table. It's very easy. You create a table like this. The first column is for stakeholders, second column for their position, the next column for projects, role, their power, level of awareness, interest, and level of supportiveness. Are they supporting you or not supporting you? This is how you continue to manage them using a table like this. We have a template we are going to use. Don't worry. And then we have this diagram. This diagram is what we call stakeholder matrix. Stakeholder power and interest matrix. Power and interest matrix. In this power and interest, you see the power here and you see the interest. Okay. All the people at the top of this matrix, they are high-powered stakeholders. Like here, what do you do with people? This is high power, and you see interest here, low interest. High power, low interest. And these people is high power, high interest. So people with high power, low interest, what do you do to them? Understand them and satisfy their need. Like most of their need is what we call, most of them regulatory or compliance or this and that. If we have health and safety officers or local government officials, they might fall into this stage. Then we'll have high power, high interest. Engage them and manage them actively. Then we'll have, see them here, low power, low interest. Monitor them and inform them occasionally. You have to monitor them. The keyword here is monitor. You need to monitor them. Then we have high interest and low power. These are the people. Consider them, give them information. These might be the people that need to work on that process all the days of their in that organization. As long as they are there using the in the organization, they might be using whatever the outcome of the project or the solution, like in our own case, sales representatives. So in this, we have gap analysis. We equally do gap analysis in stakeholder analysis. As you develop a communication plan, you are going to use this gap analysis document. You must always understand this is the current, understand your current relationship with every stakeholder. If your current relationship is not the way it's supposed to be, this is the desired. You must always compare your current relationship with the desired relationship. If there is any discrepancy between your current relationship with the desired relationship with the stakeholders, then you are having a problem. If there is no discrepancy, everything is sync, then you know you are doing well. For instance, some stakeholders, they need to be aware of everything you are doing. They must be aware, like the high-powered and high-interest, they must be aware of everything you are doing. If they are not aware of what we are doing, we are looking for trouble. So you can see, is it aware of it? Yes, aware of everything. It means you don't have problem. But if he's not aware, then what you need to do is to work towards making him aware of what you are doing. Interest. Does he show interest in whatever you are doing? If there is lack of interest, then there must be a problem. There must be interest, like someone who is high interest, and the level of interest, the person is supposed to be highly interested and is always giving you attitude, low, means cold attitude, where he's supposed to be high interest, excited when he sees you to know what's going on. If there's no such interest, is a flashlight that there is danger and you should try to sort it out. Okay, when they are not aware of what you are doing and they started showing you attitude, lack of interest, all of a sudden you are going to lose their support. If you request for appointment for a meeting, they will tell you they are busy or they will just ignore your email. That means that they are not supportive. So what you need to do is make sure you make them aware of everything you are doing, gain their interest, and finally gain their support. And you find yourself in a very better condition and their projects should be flourishing when your stakeholders are supporting you. Okay, so that is it. And you come down here, you use what we call NIMBYs. It's still a table. That is when you create communication action plan. In communication action plan, you can see each stakeholder, you get their contact. You need to contact info based on the method of communication. Can be phone, it can be email. You must understand the method of communication. And each stakeholder within your project team who has the responsibility to contact or communicate with a stakeholder. You must know whose responsibility to communicate with a stakeholder. In some case, you find out that it's the business analyst that is supposed to communicate with these stakeholders. You must make your own information there is constant communication flowing at all levels. You must identify whose responsibility to carry out this communication. And how often are they going to must write? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? And whenever there is a communication, there must be a feedback. You need to put a feedback here in the feedback log. This is what is going to make up your communication plan. And this is a screenshot of our stakeholder analysis template. So, and that's it. So, this is an example of a stakeholder analysis for a company called Futraco. So, you know, okay, I'll just read this up. I'm just looking at time because Esther just put us in a very tight corner. Esther, I hope you can hear me. Okay. Now let's look at this briefly. Futraco expansion project aims to extend Traco's multi-vendor food grocery delivery platform from Rivers State to other states in Nigeria. The project requires the involvement of various stakeholders, each with specific expectation, influence, and communication need. So let's look at the stakeholder analysis table here. Within the stakeholder analysis table here, we have the stakeholders who have their role and interest in a project, who have their expectation, who have their influence, who have their engagement strategy. So let's say this group of stakeholders, you capture them, Futraco executive team, their role and this project. Their project sponsor, this particular person is a project sponsor, expectation is a high return on investment, successful market entry, influence is high, engagement strategy, how often, regularly updates, and strategy alignment. So they want regular engagement. Then here we have another stakeholder group of stakeholders, vendors. Vendors can be restaurant and grocery owners. So what is their role? Their service provider and expectation. What is the expectation in this project? Increase sales, efficient onboarding process. Their influence is medium. What is the engagement strategy or communication? Training session, need to provide a training session and onboarding support. You must have somebody to support them during the onboarding. That's how you support these stakeholders. And you have local government agencies, regulatory authorities, that is their own role, and compliance, that is their interest here. Expectation is compliance with sales regulation. Their power is, influence is high, and engagement strategy, compliance report, you need to keep sending them compliance report and regular consultation. Then we'll have another group of people here called customers, and their role here is they are the end users of the platform. And here we'll have reliable, convenient service, that is their expectation from you. They want a reliable, convenient service, and their influence is high. You know, customers, their influence is high because indirectly because they are customers. So if you start losing them, you start losing grip of the market. And strategy for engagement is customer feedback and post-launch survey. And we have marketing team, we have logistics team, we have development team, they're all stakeholders, we have finance team, we have operations team in this project. And you have to find a way to understand them and engage them, looking at their power as well. So here is power and interest metric for Futraco expansion projects. You see here we have high interest and we have low interest. We have high power and we have low power. Okay, let's say high interest and high power. We have Futraco executive team, development team, and customers. And then here we see high interest, low power. We have vendors, marketing team, and logistics. Then we have high power, low interest. We have finance team. We have local government agencies, and we have low interest, low power. We have logistics partners and operations team. So this is the way you can capture your own as well. And this is the explanation of this this table, and that's it. And engagement and communication action plan. This will help to address each stakeholder's expectation and influence. The following engagement strategy are recommended. So for every of the stakeholders we captured here, this is the engagement level we require from them. We see the executive team, vendor, local government agencies, customers, marketing. They are all their engagement level is stated. You follow it. And conclusively, stakeholder analysis is essential to identify and manage stakeholder expectation, need, and concern for all parties involved in a project. So for this particular Futraco expansion project, effective stakeholder management will be crucial in achieving smooth and successful expansion. Okay, that's it. So make sure you go study these notes. You know, stakeholder analysis is not just an ordinary topic. It's a big foundation for you as a project manager. Also, because your project is about having various meetings, talking to various people, understanding what they need and things like that. That's project. So this is our template we are going to be using for stakeholder analysis. So if you know how to use this template, it's not difficult to use. So for instance, here you see you capture the stakeholder here, and you see the stakeholder's name, you capture the position, head of finance unit, or the project sponsor. Here, power, you just select the type of power, which this one is high power. Is he aware of level of aware? Yes, he's aware. So you need to make sure that he's aware of everything you are doing. Level of interest, yes, he's interested. High interest stakeholder. Is he supportive? Yes, he's supporting you. Then you know that you are in a good book. You are sure you are very good. But if every of this is no, then you need to work hard. This is if you come to all this is what is expected of the stakeholder. This is the expectation. This is the way it's supposed to be. The standard. Let me use the word standard. The standard of your relationship within the stakeholder. So at every point in time you come here, you see current. You compare what is going on here. This is the standard, and this is where you are. What is the level of awareness? Yeah, you're supposed to be aware of everything you are doing, but in your own case, he's not aware. So unaware. So you see it here. I selected unaware because he's not aware. It means you started deviating. Level of interest. Come over here. You know, he's not showing interest. Leave it blank. Then you see you are beginning to deviate from this original agreement, this standard. And supportive, he's not going to support you. You're sure there's no way you can not be aware of what you are doing and be expecting support. So that's why you see that everything here is. So this dot means affirmative. So he's not supporting, he's not interested, he's not even aware. So meaning that desired, you need to come here and do your work. All these places you failed, this is your current state. This is where you suppose then you make sure that this is where desired. You should be aware, you should be interested, it should support you. That's the way it should be going forward. And you must capture, this is the method of communication, email, responsibility. Who is supposed to be contacting this big man, which is the project sponsor, is the responsibility of project manager to be talking to. Not every team member will just be going to. There's what they call line management. Everybody cannot just go to be talking to the program manager or the project manager have that responsibility. And frequency, you must know how frequent should be discussed, like once a week, or it depends on, but frequency, in my own case, once a week is ideal, is good, and that's it. You might see that maybe talking to the customers, you might find out that is maybe, let's just say, business analysts have the responsibility to be talking to the customers, not you, the project manager. So you must know who is responsible and how frequent these people, these stakeholders need to be communicated. How frequency, if you need a phone, collect the phone. If email is the idle or the main for communication, get the email. And anytime there is a communication, there must be a feedback log. Communication is not a one-way, it is give and take. What you must know what they are saying, get the feedback anytime you communicate with them. And that's it. So that is how you can use this simple template to carry out stakeholder analysis and manage your stakeholders very well. So that's it. And that's where we're bringing the topic for tonight to an end. I promise you guys we need to have a session on this place, but you guys already have another time. So what do we do?
Mr. Charles, sorry, you can go ahead. We can always move all the time. Just continue.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Then, having finished with our stakeholder management, okay, the next thing is to look at this. If you, for those who are just coming this for the first time, if you log in, this is the home page. You might get something like this. So, this home page, this is just a dashboard, or this is a dashboard. So if you want to manage this project from the back end, you go to manage system, click on this, you should from here manage the system. you should be able to come here, and it's either you see here from here, because you own this account, you can start a group. A group is a team. Like in our own case, we call ourselves a team which is Monify Limited UK. That is a team. So we can have as so many projects as possible within our team. We can finish this project, we'll start another project, we can finish this project. We can have multiple projects in a team. So a group is a team. If you want to start a new team, click here, start a group. And once you start a group, you can add as many projects. But in our own case, this is our group. And if you want to manage to bring team members, for instance, here I want to bring team members to group, like some of us will just join. This is where. So I've not added any of you here yet. So from here, I will start adding. So let's see who do we have here, and I can make a bulk invoice. Let's see. Amaka. So can any of you tell me their email? Some of them must be stored here. Once I type, it's going to come up. Let's start from there.
Ejere Amaka 123.
Ejere Amaka
123 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Let's see. Not you are in the last project we had.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should appear as I'm typing. It should appear. Okay. So, and yeah, see, Amaka is here. And that's how you continue to add every other person and add another user. Let me type from here. Maybe it'll be easier. Okay, Esther, quickly.
Esther Ogi AZ.
Esther.
ESTHER.
ESTHER. Yeah. Show the Esther here.
Okay, is my name there?
Esther what?
Esther O. Esther Ogi AZ.
Okay, this should be you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's me.
And I think both of you are here, but I think others I will add them manually because I know they are not here. Like Yinda and Doris should be here. Doris should be here. Doris should be here. Doris
should be there. So.
Doris OHA 94.
Doris
OHA.
Who?
HA 94.
OH.
at Gmail.
Okay. It should be here, but it's not Doris C.
D as in Delta, O as in Oscar, R as in Romeo, I as in India, S as in Sugar, O as in Oscar, H as in Hotel, A as in Alpha, figure 9 and figure 4 at Gmail.
Doris Oha.
Yeah, 94.
Anyway, I have your email. I'll figure it
Okay.
out. So all of you have got your email. I'll figure them out. So because it's going to take time if I start doing it manually. All I need just copy all of them, update, bring them as a bulk email. I'm just trying to show how you can bring members in case maybe you have a multi-member say, okay, onboard this person. That's how you can just, I will do the rest this night. So don't worry. So, and yeah, we'll have people in this project already, and yeah, so we can move to, you can come over here and start managing this project, or you can go over here where you have all the projects going on. So we can move to here. Let's get it from here. So you see here, you see projects going on here. So it's very much the project working on. So in our own, because we're already working on it, and that is it here. That is our project. And I'll click on this project. So I'll open this project, and from here, you can see this is our project. This is tax. From here, you see tax. This is discussion. Discussion here is like a forum where we can have discussion going on. This is milestone. You can create your milestones. This time calendar and this file where you store all their file projects, documentation goes to all your file here. So, but you can see everything here is blank, nothing is here. So the first thing we need to do when we come here is to create a breakdown structure here. The first thing, you can use this, we call it list. List, we use this list to create stages of a project before you start adding tags. So you see, this is a list here. This is the only list here. You can add another list. So for us to start, I will edit this. This is a list, so I'll call it initiate stage. Initiate stage, and I will save it, and we'll have the first stage of this project. I'm working with this I'm working with this document here. That's it here. This is the first stage. We call it initiate stage. Then another stage here, you come over here, you say you can add as many lists as you want. So list is when you want to add a stage or a phase or a category. So whichever way, don't get confused. So I'll add another stage, call it define. can equally call it planning. And great. As you can see, we have two stages here. We are not adding tasks at the moment. We are just breaking them down into stages. And we have execute stage. And we'll create. Then we'll have closure stage. Yeah, we have 4 stages here. If you are reading other textbook or things, a lot of people choose 4 stages, some choose 5 stages. Okay, the 5th stage is called monitoring and control. Why I don't create a separate stage, call it monitoring and control, is because when you are working, you cannot wait till you reach monitoring and control before you start monitoring and start controlling. Monitoring and control revolves around these 4 stages. As immediately as this project gets started, you start monitoring. You as the project manager, you started controlling activities here. So now we've created this. What we are going to do is to move this document, that is, recreate what we have here. So, and the first thing is to the first thing here, come to under, see here, I use this, I'll open it here, add task. The first task we are going to add here is receive or create project brief. Added. Another task we need to add here is identify stakeholders and their expectation. You add. And another stage here is create work breakdown structure. And we add. And another task here is define roles and responsibility. We use RACI metrics. And so on and so forth until you finish everything you want to do here. And that's it. So the rest tasks, you see the way I'm bringing it in very smoothly, is your responsibility. I want you people to follow these few steps to bring in the rest of the activities or tasks under this, under this, under this, under this. So that's it. And okay, let's say how to plan activity here. Now the first thing is to receive projects. You click on it as the project manager. You see activity here, receive projects, receive or create project brief. You come over here and you say, you create a due date. When is this supposed to be done? See, this should be done. That's what you guys are doing already. Today is
Friday the 2nd.
Today is April, so we're supposed to be on May. That's where it's supposed to, May 2nd. That is the due date. This should be done by this, and assign who is going to do this. You can assign this to any particular person. So assign it to everyone, as everyone is participating in this. And this is high priority. It's very important. And you come over here and you put it in progress. So, and then you come over here, you describe what you're supposed to, what this is all about. For those who do not, come here and write blah, 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 and that's it. And that's it. So as this going on, for instance, you are the project manager, you have assigned this particular activity. Let's say you assign this activity to, let's say you, Esther, assign this activity to Amaka, and at the end of the day, Amaka managed to complete the stick and then upload here. This is where you're supposed to, if you want to upload, you look at this upload document here, click here, and I'll upload from my listing. And let's look for upload here. Project brief. And here. So you see, Amaka finished and uploaded the document here. And you come over here to review Amaka's work. After, when you see these documents, open them, go through them, and if you are happy the way it is, it's done. You come here and you want to let Amaka know you've reviewed the say at Amaka. Say deliverable approved. Thank you. Or you can say, Amaka, I've gone through your deliverable. I'm sorry, you need to redo this. It's not up to the standard, or you didn't use the templates we are supposed to use. So please use the correct template. Thank you. You review this, and or you can come here by May, and you've not seen this, you can query Amaka. Amaka, this is overdue. What's going on? I've not received this thing yet. So Amaka will see you are this in here. After you finish, you post. So when Amaka see what you've done, Amaka can come here and respond to you. Amaka will want to reply. Amaka can use this reply and reply to you directly. If like now you see deliverable approved, thank you, Amaka can just come here and say, give you thumbs up and things. And you know, if you want to delete, if you want to edit, if you want to tag, if you want to copy a link, this is it. And when you finish the tags, you come over here, you from in progress to completed. That'll help us know, or you see here is changed, completed. It's no longer in the same level with this. So that is how you do it. But I will redo this. I'll put it back to not started, and you people need to I'll put it back to unassigned, and I'll put it back to none, and I'll clear the dates, and I will just leave this for you guys as a bonus. So please come here and manage activities from here. So you see, I've gone back to nothing I have done. So it's up to you to start doing this work. You see here, you can rearrange this the way you want. You can move receive to any, or you can just move it back. It's drag and drop, and that's it. So it's very easy to manage. And if you want to look for file like these two files I've just uploaded, if you come here, you see them in our file, in our calendar. From calendar here, you can use calendar to manage activities, and whenever you schedule appointments or it will appear here in calendar, you can come here and create milestones, start adding milestones. If like first stage or initiate stage, you guys can decide what is our milestone. You can see that creating a project brief is a milestone, or project charter is a milestone. You come here and add it as a milestone. You can open discussion here, and people can engage from discussion from here. So add a list, a topic, and can add any kind of discussion, and everybody will start contributing. From here, you can add as well from here. When your discussion to be organized, you can break discussion into key topics that can be, can come here and say stakeholder analysis, then under stakeholder management, or any kind of discussion to help people manage this project very well. And this is where you can do it. And the main thing is happening within this task level. That's where you manage every activity, and yeah, so easy. And as you are managing the project, you can, this is 0%. You can see how you are progressing through this percentage, and yeah. So, like I said, it's just going to be, I'm going to be very brief about it, and that's it. So all I need to do is to come and add the rest of you here ASAP, so that everybody will start engaging. And yeah, so if you have any question, you can bring your question at this point. Yes, are you raising your hand?
Yes, sir. My question is, just like we have FreeCamp for Digitech as a collaborative platform, does every organization have their own collaborative platform where they use for their projects as well?
Yeah, every organization have a collaborative, depending on whichever collaborative, like we have FreeCamp, we have Asana, we have Monday.com, we have Microsoft Teams. Whichever one you want to use, you can, your organization will decide whichever they want to use. But they are the same thing, they have similar feature, same usage, just collaboration, manage tasks and activity, track project progress. So if you know how to use this, you should be able to know how to, because they are quite similar. All these things I mentioned is just like I started mentioning different types of CRMs. Like we'll have to talk about CRM, we have Microsoft Dynamics CRM, we have Salesforce, we have Soho, we have HubSpot, so many of them. In collaborative project collaborative platform, we have FreeCamp, we have Basecamp, we have Asana, we have Monday.com, we have Microsoft team. And yeah, these are all collaborative platforms.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah. Any more questions? Yeah. Oyinda.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I just wanted to ask, at the end of the teaching, you showed us a template. And on that template, I think after the name and the identification, there's the high interest part. But right after the high interest, we couldn't see, there was no column for, what's the other one? For, sorry, high power, but we couldn't see the column for high interest. I don't know if you open up.
You already have interest.
Yeah, that's the thing. You explained that you're going to, like, do you have the different levels of interest, whether or not, during the progress of the project, the interest varied. But then at the beginning, we don't know if they are, what's it called, if their current position is actually high interest. We just know that they are high power. Yes. So right beside the high power, before aware.
No, at least when you are managing using this type of, all you need to show is whether interest or not. That's the way. This is not. This is just a template I created. So it doesn't. If you want, you can create and put high. But for me, just to show whether a stakeholder is showing. You are managing a stakeholder at this point. You are not trying to analyze them. I'm not using an interest matrix
Okay.
to do this. So currently is a current document. So when I'm trying to do stakeholder classification, that's where I use that kind of high interest and call it stakeholder interest matrix. You can use a grid. Everything is not captured. It is just a document. This is already a working document you can use to manage your ongoing communication. What you see in the notes here, you can use a table like this. It's trying to load. So you can create a table like this using I used to have one PowerPoint, or you can equally come down and create yourself a table like this. I have a matrix here. A table like this, you can use something like this to capture and put them. But once I create this is for ongoing communication, this is already a document I'm using. At this point, I'm not doing classification again. Ongoing communication, ongoing stakeholder management, where I want to know who is, this is a standard where I want the stakeholders, I want them, every stakeholders should, whether high or low interest, they must have vested interest. They must have interest, whether those who don't, being a stakeholder is because you have interest. But high interest is trying to weigh the level of interest. So at this point, this power is what we used to, who have this high power and know how to. But everybody is interested in this project in one way or the other. It depends on what they are interested in. Are they interested in the regulation, compliance? Are they interested in the money coming out of this project? But yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Okay, any more question? Okay, thank you for joining. Sorry I shifted like I always say, if you are being part of my class, the teaching is always within 1 hour, and 30 minutes is for engagement. So when I saw the meeting, it means you guys did not want engagement. So that's what it means to me. So, but that's how every class I really 1 hour, 30 minutes, but I just make sure that within 1 hour, we finish everything and we start engaging. So, yeah. So if you don't have any more questions, please take your time to go through the notes. And if you have more questions, you can always DM me, and I will invite others like Bola. Did I add you to the last project in Freed Camp? Bola, are you there? Are you already sleeping? Okay. Because I'm sure about Doris, but Bola, I'm not sure. But I'm going to add every other person in Freed Camp. So Oyinda, keep your lookout for email. You are going to get an invite for you to join us in Freed Camp. Other people like Doris, you are not getting any invites because you already, I think you already know. I will see, but just check out your people. We're going to.
Yes, I'm there already.
Huh?
I'm there already. You've added me.
Yeah. Okay. Good night, people. I'll see you sometime next week, but although we can be collaborating before you'll be doing your work. So you have 2 work items now. Now, let's the take home before we go. You're already working on project brief. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr.
Okay. As you are working on the project brief, then you need to come here and create a breakdown structure here. That is number 2. Then you need to create a stakeholder analysis document and upload it here using what we've just done. So, yeah, that is what I want to see by the end of this week. We should have done this, and because I'm not coming to do it. So, let's start. Take notes.
Okay, Mr. Charles.
All right. Thank you, and sleep well.
Thank you, Mr. Charles. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you.